What if every time you film a YouTube video, that single piece of content turned instantly into 20 plus social media posts across all different platforms, all in your authentic voice? In this video, I'm going to show you a real case study, a workflow I built that saved me thousands of dollars per month in team costs. And I'll give you the framework behind it so that you can apply it to your business and start multiply your content in the smart way. By the way, my name is Ruben and I scale a coaching business past $3 million using the same systems I now build with AI. Today, I help coaches and consultants grow their businesses in the AI age using what actually works, not based on theory, but based on my own experience. Okay, so let's dive right into it. I want to emphasize that in this video, everything I'm going to talk about is part of what I call the authentic scale method. So it's not just about creating output with AI that is random, that anyone can do it, but it's going to solve one of the problems that I hear most coaches talk about. It's like, yes, I've tried AI, but it doesn't really sound like me. And this is wrong because if you use AI properly, then it can actually sound exactly like you. Okay. And for anything I do, really, it's about balancing the power of AI without compromising your tone of voice, who you are, your human part that needs to be expressed through content, through anything you do in your business. So why we even talking about this? The main problem is that if you're a coach or consultant, you're running this type of business, you know probably better than me that you need to post consistently. If you want to get leads, if you want to get clients, posting content, either you do it organically, or either run ads, you do have to do this consistently. Once that stops, that the flow of leads stop coming, business not going well. So you know that already probably, but most people fall in these two traps. Number one, they try to do right content for all platforms, or Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, etc. But they obviously burn out quickly because you need a lot of focus to do even just one platform well. Imagine doing multiple. And so that's trap number one. Trap number two is that they outsource. They say, okay, I'm going to get a social media agency. I've done that multiple times. But the problem is that most of the time, nothing comes back sounding like you, because there's always some person in between that even has experience, even understands your business well. Always there's a human element that interprets your message, your voice a little bit not right. And with the AI though, you can actually overcome the issue. You can overcome the issue of sounding like you, and you can overcome the issue of actually being consistent with your output. So I come up with the 3-step repurposing framework, which is very simple. All you need is on your end a input. As an input, you need a long form YouTube video where you talk about your expertise, your story, your insight, exactly what I'm doing right now. And that's the main ingredient of the recipe. Okay. Once you have that, then you plug that into a processing intelligent AI workflow that analyzes your voice, extract the key insights, and adapt to each platform unique format, and respect the audience expectations, and respect what you want to say, and most importantly, what you don't want to say. Okay. As a result, the output, you can get 20 plus native posts. And this is just based on an example I did myself, but depending on how long the video is and how many golden nuggets are in the videos, this can be easily, 50, 100 native posts. That's really depending on how good and how long the original input is. So I'm going to share in a minute a high level view of the actual workflow, but so they have an understanding of how that is. Again, we have a YouTube input, and the AI is going to analyze that input, grabbing the information from the transcript. In the prompting, there is a voice adaptation and analysis of what to extract from the transcript, what to not extract, and then it will spit out a series of social media posts, or even email newsletter, blogs, and so on. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen now into the actual workflow, so you can see exactly what I've been using. So let me show you how this workflow works. And so let's jump into the platform we use, which is called N10. If you don't know it, you're missing out. It's one of the platform that if you're serious about using AI in your business, you must get familiar with, or at least having someone in your team that is familiar with it, because that's where you actually build business solid workflows. You can't keep using ChatGPT for random prompts and random results. You need something that is more systematic, and that's one of the way to do it. So in N10, we start this workflow with the Google Sheet trigger. Okay. So basically, this is what works in the back end. In the front end, really you're gonna work with two tabs. One is called the link trigger, and one is the sheet where you're gonna get all the output of the that comes from the trigger. Okay, so let's see actually how this works live, which is probably even easier to understand. I'm gonna copy the URL of a YouTube video from the previous business that I used to run. Again, it was a trading coaching business. He's my business partner, and all you need to do is copy the URL of the YouTube video that you want to repurpose, and you just paste it here. Okay. What happens in the meantime, if I go into executions, okay, it's currently running. It's going to take a few minutes. And basically what it's doing in the meantime is grabbing the information of the transcript of the video, and is going to send this information to different nodes. Each node represents a social media platform, or it can be an email, it can be a blog. It takes that information and it elaborates exactly the way you want it to get the for the specific platform. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so it's already finished, and as you can see here, is giving me the output for an email that is going to promote that video, YouTube posts in terms of educational posts and polls, Twitter, so tweets that you can post on the Twitter account, and for Instagram, something that I built is using the tweets as actual turning them into images, which is something you've probably seen from many creators doing. And in this automation, creating the caption that goes well with that tweet picture. I'm going to show you that visually in a second, so it's going to be clear. But as you can see here, it already created all the output. So the way it does, I'm going to show you one node, and then the same logic, it really repeats to all the other. If I'm going to open here the prompt that gives the instruction to the AI node, which is by the way, it's from OpenAI. So it's almost like using ChatGPT, but in this way you can use it inside of a workflow that is more systematic. And basically say you're a senior email copywriter training performance-based marketing. You work with Aaron Corps, a respected futures trading coach who teaches aspiring traders how to get funded using structured methods like the Davoli profile. Your job is to write a promotional email for a newly published YouTube video. This email will go to Corp's audience, mostly aspiring or semi-experienced traders who are struggling with inconsistency, overtrading, or lack of structure. Okay, he gives the goal and he shows the format. So I want 3 different subject line. This is how the body should look like. I just want a call to action to watch the video. It gives instruction what the tone and voice should be, and to make this really no-brainer, so that you're sure that it doesn't give you something that you don't want to say. You just give an example of your previous email, so it's gonna sound exactly like your previous email. Okay, give the output, and this instruction is taken, of course, from the input of the transcript. And so as you can see, the output here for the email, it gives me 3 subject line that your social media manager can pick, or you can A/B test. A small hook to grab the attention. In this case, says there's a brutal cycle, traders get caught in that just sucks you in, spits you out, and leaves you confused and ready to quit. But it doesn't have to be that way. I just drop a new video breaking down this cycle, why the market feels easy one moment, impossible in the next, and how most traders fall into the same trap without even realizing it. Here's a glimpse of what you get. So bullet points of the main points that are covered in the video. And then to watch the full video, click here, talk soon, RPS, just respecting the style that we've been using for years. Okay, so let me show you visually how this looked like and the results we got from using the system. So here are some of the results we got by using the system, starting with the email newsletter format. This is a video that we published a couple of months ago, and the AI generated email and the, of course, subject lines generated a 34% open rate. This was about, I think, 7,000 people that received the message. And 1% click-through rate, which is pretty good. So like it's actually, especially in the open rate, slightly higher than our average, was around 30%. So just this to say that this type of content is not gonna compromise the results you're getting before. Okay, for anything, they could be improved, but from my experience, they're not gonna be worse as long as you train the system well, what worked before in your business. Then something I really like to do, our strongest social media channel was YouTube, was creating a series of polls and educational posts. Especially polls really get good engagement. It's something easy, people can engage with you, and so you can create them based on, again, the content of the video. So it doesn't even feel like you're talking about the same thing. You're just talking about the same thing from different angles. And yeah, educational posts that of course can be used for YouTube, but also for Twitter, so X now. And you might have seen on Instagram creatives like this one, even like Ormozy, basically uses the same tweet that you use on X, and you just create an image out of it with Canva. You can easily create a template. You copy and paste the tweet, and you put it in the image. You post it. What needs to be done, that again it's solved with this workflow, is that you need to match a caption that makes sense with that tweet to a company, right? So exactly, you can do that. You get the tweet, and then you get the caption that is related to the tweet, and they just need to post it. I do assume that even Ormozy, I would assume he does a system similar to this. I'm not sure if it's all automated or there's people behind, but the what all I've done is just reverse engineering the logic. So some important considerations and lesson I learned by doing this is that this type of automation does not equal intention. Okay, if you just blast content everywhere, because you can, as I said, do hundreds of posts if you want to, you're just making noise, not an impact. So the main principle behind this is that there needs to be intention, and I do recommend just replicate what already has been working with human effort. Don't start a social media channel by repurposing content if you're starting from scratch, unless you do that and simultaneously you put human effort to go live, to show people you're there. Because in fact, in our case, YouTube, email, there were channels we've been using for many years, and just by adding the generated content, it just created more output that people engage, like, etc. Twitter, Instagram were social media that we didn't really use in the past, and we got little traction there. Okay, but not because the input was wrong, but because there was no like soul, there was no organic traction prior to that. So I do not recommend doing it. If you're not already present in those platforms, you start, just just see what works, and then all this system does is replicating consistently by using less time and spending less money to create the output you want while keeping your tone of voice. So, summing up, this is a system that if you're spending money on social media, you got people there are taking time to write in post, thinking, etc. In the AI age, you shouldn't really be doing that. Like, you probably still need a social media manager, but they should be working this way, not spending time thinking because most of the time is not necessary. By the way, it's something that I did, and once I start seeing that the the output was consistent and good after 4, 5, 6, 7 times, I created a SOP for my actual admin where I actually show how to do these processes, walk you through. Okay, so that all the admin needs to do is basically copy and pasting from the Google Sheet the output and scheduling on social media. Okay, and so instead of paying maybe a social media manager thousands of dollars a month, you can use a smart um, admin for $10 an hour that does exactly the same job that you have tested with AI first. So again, saving cost, you keep building your authority consistently, you keep your authentic voice, and most importantly, you keep generating qualified leads for your business. Okay. So if you want this framework, you're interested to apply for your business, you can start free. Join my new school group where I'm gonna post the framework that you can download. Or if you want to go custom, you actually say, hey, I like what I'm seeing. Can you do it for me? That's exactly what I do with my company. You can book a call and see if there is a fit. We can actually implement in a matter of days. Okay. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.